All right, let's dive in. We're going to Ghana today. Gonna explore this whole thing about African Americans connecting with their heritage there.
Yeah.
It seems like a really fascinating trend, and we've got all sorts of stuff to look at. We've got like YouTube videos, people sharing their firsthand experiences. We've got news articles, and even like plans for this sustainable community
Right.
called migrating culture crossing.
Yeah. It's pretty
It's
fascinating.
not even just about visiting. We're talking like relocation, building communities, even gaining citizenship. It's a whole thing.
It is. And it's interesting, how Ghana is actually kind of encouraging this return,
Oh, really?
like strategically encouraging it.
Yeah.
Back in 2019, they had that whole year return thing
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
to commemorate, 400 years since the first enslaved Africans were brought over to America.
Mm.
And that really seemed to put Ghana on the map for a lot of people.
Yeah, I remember seeing so much about that.
Yeah.
Just like it seemed really powerful for so many people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a real turning point.
Yeah, and the government is kind of building on that momentum, right? So they've got this Beyond the Return initiative.
Okay.
And it's a 10-year plan. The idea is to attract people, with skills to relocate there permanently.
Mm-hmm.
But what's really interesting is this right of abode law.
Oh, what's that?
So it grants people of African descent
Okay.
the right to live in Ghana indefinitely.
Wow.
And, they could potentially gain citizenship,
Mm-hmm.
which you don't really see in other African nations. So
That's a pretty big deal.
it is. It adds a whole other layer to this story.
Yeah, so it's not just like a welcoming atmosphere. There's like a legal framework for it,
Exactly. Exactly. And, when you start to hear like personal stories from people who've actually made the move,
Yeah.
you start to understand just how deep this decision goes. Like,
What have you heard?
we see accounts of African Americans participating in like naming ceremonies,
Oh.
taking on these traditional Ghanaian names, really immersing themselves in like the local customs.
So they're like really going all in.
Yeah, it's like a
Like
deliberate,
watched a visit.
it's not just a visit. It's like really reclaiming that lost connection.
Wow, that's amazing.
And a lot of them talk about, these emotional experiences,
Yeah.
connecting with their ancestors at like historical sites, like those slave castles, acknowledging that painful history,
Right.
but at the same time, like embracing a sense of belonging.
Right, yeah. So obviously heritage is a huge part of it.
Yeah.
But what else is motivating people to make this move?
Yeah, I mean, it goes beyond just the cultural connection.
What else is there?
Well, you hear a lot of people talk about like finding a sense of peace
Mm-hmm.
and security that they felt was missing
Okay.
in their lives in America.
Interesting.
Like on YouTube, you see parents talking about
Yeah.
how they're just relieved that they don't have to constantly worry about their kids' safety, which, is something that really resonates with a lot of African Americans in the U.S.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a big one, safety.
So you've got that. You've got the deeper cultural connection. It's like this really powerful combination for a lot of folks.
And, there's also this emphasis on the warmth and the hospitality
Okay.
that they experience in Ghana.
Yeah.
It's like a direct contrast, right,
To what?
to the racism and bigotry that they faced back in the U.S.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's like they're finally experiencing what it truly means to be accepted
Right.
for who they are.
Yeah, it's like they finally found a place where they can just like exhale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's not just about individual experiences either.
What do you mean?
There are actual organized efforts
Okay.
to create spaces specifically
Right.
for people returning from the diaspora.
Oh, wow.
Like, take, for example, this Migrating Culture Crossing project.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I read a bit about it. It's that 200-acre.
Yeah, 200-acre sustainable community.
Yeah.
Pretty ambitious.
It is. What makes it so unique, though?
Well, for one thing, they're building the homes out of these earth blocks,
Okay.
which, are not only cooler,
Yeah.
but it also kind of connects back to these traditional building styles.
That's really cool.
And they're really going all in on sustainability.
How so?
They're incorporating an organic food forest
Wow.
and like edible landscape.
So it's all integrated right into the design?
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
So it's modern living, right?
Mhm.
But with this huge emphasis on self-sufficiency and that connection to nature.
Right.
And they're not sacrificing comfort either. Like
Really?
the plans include a swimming pool,
Oh, wow.
a tennis court, even a wellness center.
So they've really thought of everything.
Yeah, and, they've got this unique warranty program.
What's that mean?
It just shows their commitment to, the well-being of the resident.
It's really thoughtful.
So it's modern living, but also sustainable and focused on community well-being.
Exactly. And then their financial model's pretty interesting, too.
What's that like?
They're offering half-price homes.
Wow.
But there's a catch.
What's the catch?
You have to wait 3 years.
Oh, interesting. So they're really...
Yeah, it seems like they've got this long-term vision for this community.
Yeah, that's fascinating. It's bold.
It is. It's bold.
But it seems like it's attracting a lot of attention.
Yeah, and, the potential impact of something like this is huge.
In what way?
You're attracting skilled professionals, boosting economic development,
Yeah.
promoting sustainable practices.
It's like a win-win-win.
It is, and it could be a model for future development, not just in Ghana, but maybe elsewhere too.
Yeah, potentially groundbreaking. But I'm curious, with all these people coming from the U.S.,
Yeah.
are there any concerns about about putting a strain on Ghana's resources?
Yeah.
Or even just like, cultural clashes?
Absolutely. I mean, Ghana's been incredibly welcoming.
Yeah.
But, rapid growth can bring challenges.
Right.
There's always that risk of misunderstandings or even tension.
Right. Just as different groups try to find their place.
Exactly. It's that age-old question, right?
Right. Integration.
Integration. How do you balance preserving the existing culture with incorporating new influences?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It is. It's a conversation that needs to happen, though, openly and honestly,
For sure.
as this movement continues to evolve.
Right, because it's not going away.
No, not at all.
But I think the fact that those conversations are happening is good.
Oh, absolutely.
It shows that they're willing to address
Yeah.
those potential challenges and work towards solutions
Exactly.
that benefit everyone.
Right, because progress isn't always a straight line,
Yeah, there are going to be bumps,
There will be bumps.
but it sounds like they're ready to.
Yeah, I think so. Navigate them, which is great.
Yeah, and, that kind of brings us to another part of this story.
What's that?
That tends to generate pretty strong opinions.
Okay.
It's the whole debate surrounding U.S. aid to Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are definitely some very contrasting viewpoints on that.
Absolutely.
Like, some people see it as a misplaced priority, while others emphasize the importance of supporting these developing nations.
Right, it's not a simple issue. It's
Right.
not just about being for or against aid.
Yeah.
It raises all these questions about, like, how we allocate resources,
Mm-hmm.
global responsibility,
Yeah.
how we define our priorities as a nation.
Right. I've seen some pretty stark headlines about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Biden's handing out $1 in disaster aid in Africa while Americans still suffer in North Carolina.
Yeah, that'll get people talking for sure.
Yeah, it does. It's a hot topic.
It is. And, it's important to understand both sides.
For sure.
Like, those who criticize aid often argue that we should focus on our own issues first,
Yeah.
We've got our own problems to solve.
Fix things at home first.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a common argument.
Yeah. And then the other
I
side,
like these, right?
they'll say it's a moral imperative to help those in need,
Okay.
no matter where they live,
Mm.
and that investing in developing nations can benefit everyone in the long run.
Yeah, I see that point too.
Right? It's complex.
It is.
There are no easy answers.
No.
And, it really ties into this larger conversation about the relationship between the U.S. and Africa,
Right.
including Ghana.
Right.
Yeah.
And this whole influx of African Americans going back to Ghana.
It just adds another layer of complexity
It really does.
to that relationship.
Yeah, it's like this movement is challenging us to rethink our assumptions about
Yeah.
identity, belonging, our place in the world.
Absolutely. And, those personal stories of African Americans finding peace and connection and that sense of belonging in Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
they really highlight those complexities,
Yeah, it's powerful.
It is.
It's like it's saying there's more than one way to define home.
Exactly.
And that's something I think a lot of people can relate to, even if they haven't personally experienced this type of journey.
Right.
It's like we all want to find that place where we feel connected and accepted and part of something bigger.
It's a universal desire.
It really is.
And it's fascinating to see how it's playing out
Yeah.
culturally, like this whole Dedi December thing.
I know. Yeah. Dedi December. What is that exactly?
So imagine, like, Ghana's cultural scene just explodes
Okay.
during the holiday season. It's
Right.
this huge celebration of life, music, community.
Wow.
And it draws people from all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
but it's become especially popular among African Americans
Really?
who are looking to connect with Ghanaian culture.
Oh, wow. That sounds amazing.
It is. It's very vibrant.
Yeah, so are we talking more tourism or is there like a real cultural exchange happening?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's actually something that sparks debate,
Oh, really?
even within Ghana.
Oh, wow.
Some people will say that it's become too commercialized,
Okay.
that it caters mostly to tourists,
Hmm.
while others see it as this valuable opportunity for cultural exchange
Right.
and economic growth.
So there's a balance to strike there.
Yeah, there is a balance.
Yeah.
But regardless of how you view it,
Mm-hmm.
it's a testament to Ghana's growing appeal.
As a destination.
Yeah, for people who are looking for something different,
Yeah.
a different kind of holiday experience.
It's like this whole movement is multifaceted, right?
It is. It's so many things.
Cultural exploration, personal journeys,
Mhm.
these complex social and political dynamics, all kind of intertwined.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack, but
It
it's
is.
fascinating.
It is.
Yeah. Really fascinating.
Definitely. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a lot going on.
So much more than just a trip,
Exactly. And while, that Dedi December thing shows off Ghana's culture,
Right.
the appeal goes way deeper than just one event.
Yeah, what is it about then?
It's like this deep yearning,
For connection.
a place where history and culture are tied together
Right.
with belonging and shared identity.
It's like a homecoming,
It is.
but like on a massive scale.
Exactly.
Yeah, like reclaiming a heritage that was like disrupted for centuries.
Right. And it's not just about passively learning about the past either.
No, it's more than that.
You see African Americans actively contributing
Oh, really? How so?
to Ghana's present and future.
Okay.
Like some are investing in real estate,
Oh, wow.
starting businesses, even launching sustainable agriculture projects. They're bringing their skills and resources.
So they're really building a future there.
Yeah, together, drawing on that shared heritage, but still respecting the existing culture.
Right. Finding that balance.
And that's where this whole dual citizenship thing comes in.
Oh, yeah. How does that fit in?
It's so powerful.
In a way.
It lets African Americans fully engage in Ghanaian society.
Okay.
They can vote in local elections,
Oh.
advocate for issues they care about, really become part of the fabric of the nation.
Yeah, they're not just visitors anymore.
No, not at all. It's like a tangible sign of that commitment.
To building a shared future.
Exactly. And you see that commitment in all these stories
Oh.
of African Americans getting involved in community development projects.
Oh, wow. Like what?
Some are building schools.
Okay.
Others are supporting healthcare initiatives. They're working alongside local residents
Yeah.
to improve everyone's quality of life.
So they're really invested.
Yeah, it's a genuine desire to give back.
To be part of the solution.
Exactly, not just passing through.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And those efforts are creating this ripple effect.
Mm.
Yeah, they're fostering stronger bonds between African Americans and local Ghanaian communities.
That's so
A
cool.
beautiful example of that cultural exchange and mutual growth.
It really is. It seems like this whole movement is gaining momentum.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The Year of Return was a huge success.
Huge.
And then the Beyond the Return initiative,
Right.
it seems like this is more than just a fad,
Yeah, it's becoming something much bigger,
Like what?
a sustained and impactful force. And it's not just Ghana either.
Oh, really?
You see similar trends in other African countries,
Like?
Gambia, Senegal.
Okay.
Individuals and communities want to reconnect with their heritage across the whole continent.
It's like this Pan-African awakening or something.
Yeah, it's a rediscovery of those shared roots.
And a desire to like forge these new connections.
Exactly.
It's really incredible, but what does it mean for the future?
That's a big question.
Yeah, how might all of this reshape both Ghana and the African American community?
It's tough to say for sure. But on one hand, you see potential for increased economic development in Ghana.
In what way?
More skilled professionals and entrepreneurs are relocating there,
Right.
investing in the country.
Yeah, that could lead to all sorts of things.
Absolutely. Job creation,
Yeah,
technological advancements.
boosting different sectors.
Exactly. And culturally, this influx could revitalize certain traditions and practices,
Oh, interesting.
foster a deeper appreciation for African heritage,
Mm-hmm.
both within Ghana and globally.
Yeah, the potential for cultural exchange is huge.
It really is. But we got to acknowledge the potential challenges too.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, this rapid growth,
Yeah.
it could strain their existing infrastructure and resources.
Right. They might not be equipped for it.
And then there's the integration piece.
Yeah. That's always tricky.
Even when it's driven by shared heritage, it can be complex.
Are there concerns about, like, cultural clashes?
Absolutely. Navigating those complexities will be key.
How do they do that?
Open communication is
Oh.
huge. A willingness to learn from each other.
To find that common ground.
Exactly, to make sure the integration benefits everyone.
Right. It's a reminder that progress takes,
Yeah,
careful consideration and a commitment to addressing challenges.
absolutely. We have to approach this with sensitivity and respect.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure the benefits are shared fairly
Right. That's important.
and that the unique cultures and traditions of both communities
Yeah.
are preserved and celebrated.
It's about finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
between honoring the past, embracing the present,
Mm-hmm.
and building a future together.
Exactly. And speaking of building a future,
Oh, yeah.
you see projects like that Asabu Pan-African Village popping up.
What's that?
It's a 5,000-acre eco-city
Wow.
being developed in Ghana, specifically for the African diaspora.
Oh, wow. That's ambitious.
It is, but it shows the growing interest and investment in this movement.
Mm-hmm.
These projects are creating these dedicated spaces
Yeah.
for African Americans to connect, contribute,
Mm-hmm.
and thrive within a community that shares their heritage.
It's really inspiring to see it all unfolding.
It is.
But it also makes you think about your own, personal journey,
Yeah.
with connection and belonging.
Mhm.
What does heritage mean to you?
Yeah, it's a good question.
How do we create that deeper sense of belonging?
Right. In our own communities or even on a global scale.
It's a lot to think about. Yeah, it really makes you think,
Yeah, it does.
where do we belong?
Hmm.
How do we even, nurture that feeling?
It's a question we all grapple with, right?
It is.
And these stories from African Americans in Ghana,
Yeah.
they show just how challenging but also rewarding
Mhm.
that journey can be.
It's like they're writing this new chapter in their own stories, but they're also part of something so much bigger.
Exactly. This whole narrative about identity and belonging.
Right.
And it's still unfolding,
It is. It's exciting.
It is.
And even though that physical journey back to Ghana is a
Yeah.
big part of it.
It's clear that this search for belonging
Yeah.
goes way beyond just location.
It does. It's about finding those spaces,
Mm.
those communities, those connections that make you feel seen and heard.
Right. Like you matter.
Exactly. Like you matter.
And those can be anywhere, right?
They can. Sometimes it's about shared heritage.
Like in Ghana.
Exactly. But it can also be about shared values,
Okay.
interests, experiences,
It's like finding your tribe.
It is finding where you resonate,
Yeah.
feeling connected to something bigger.
And I wonder, how does technology play into all of this?
Oh, that's interesting.
Because it's already helped, right?
It has. Those online platforms have made it so much easier
To connect.
to connect, share stories, information.
Yeah, social media has been huge for this.
Absolutely. But as technology keeps evolving,
Yeah.
what else could it do?
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, imagine, virtual reality experiences.
Oh, okay.
You could virtually visit historical sites in Ghana.
Even if you can't physically travel there.
That would be amazing.
It would open up this whole new world for people who are curious about their heritage,
Yeah.
but maybe don't have the means to go there.
Right. The money, the time.
Exactly.
That's such a cool idea.
And what about telemedicine?
Oh, yeah.
Connecting doctors here in the U.S. with communities in Ghana, addressing those healthcare disparities,
That's a really good point.
making sure everyone has the chance to thrive.
Yeah, those are just a couple of examples.
Yeah.
But it seems like technology could really amplify this movement
Oh, absolutely.
in ways we haven't even thought of yet.
It's exciting to think about,
It is.
how those connections could grow and change as technology advances.
It really is. So as we wrap up this deep dive
Yeah.
into the experiences of African Americans in Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in awe,
Of what?
of the resilience, the courage, that unwavering search for belonging.
It's incredible.
It really is.
Yeah. It makes you rethink your own ideas of home,
Yeah.
heritage, community.
And it shows us that these journeys, as personal as they are, they can actually shape the world.
They can.
And who knows, maybe this will inspire some of our listeners
Yeah.
to start their own journeys of discovery and connection.
It's a universal thing,
It is. That search for belonging, we all go through it.
We do.
Well, thanks for joining us on this incredible journey.
Yeah, this was great.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning,
Keep searching.
and keep seeking those connections that make you feel,
Yeah.
truly alive.
Yeah.